Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 9th through the 15th. And during that time, we'll have a waning gibbous moon, so we'll be coming off of that full moon energy. It's a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth, good time to make positive changes and get rid of bad habits and negative thinking. So we're going to be working towards our goals and achieving some things through this week. We then have the last quarter moon also, which is kind of a deeper time for reflection, definitely releasing what's no longer serving us. And then we're going to start to get ready for our new beginnings during the new moon and letting go and kind of taking responsibility for things that we've been doing recently and thinking about how we might like to make changes when that new cycle comes around. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is look at the bigger picture. All right, let's see what the Taurus Collective has going on. They need to turn around and look at that bigger picture about for this week. As I'm shuffling, my fun reminder for the week is that you keep a spiritual journal. And a lot of times we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our life when it comes to our spiritual experiences. This could be, keeping track of things that you learn, synchronicities that you're having, maybe dreams or encounters. It's just a good way to have something to look back on as those things are emerging, and just to be able to look back and think, oh, here's when I started adopting this spiritual practice into my life, and here's the effect that it's been having. Is it working? Is it not? Or I was going to do this thing that I learned and I totally forgot, just a good reminder in that way. That's one that I do a lot. Oh, I remember I learned that I was supposed to be practicing that and totally forgot. Let's get on that. So, but anyway, that's my fun, friendly reminder, is that you try to keep a spiritual journal. So, all right, Taurus, without further ado, let's get into this reading, November 9th through the 15th. Look at the bigger picture. All right, your overall present energy is the Ace of Pentacles. So a new financial opportunity for you, something new coming into your life. This could be new money coming in. This could be found money. It could be an investment paying off. It could be a new job coming in for you, or, a bump up at the job that you're at, maybe a promotion, that sort of thing. But, some sort of new financial opportunity. So look around for that this week. Your current situation right now is that things are going to be happening very quickly here with the Eight of Wands. So new information coming in at you. This could be, things changing, just things coming in that you're having to manage. You're like, I just call this, like, this is a busy week, just you turn around and think you've got it licked and the next thing comes by. So pay attention to that also this week. At the root of your situation is the High Priestess. So you might have recently had, some sort of mysterious information come into you from one of those ways that I was mentioning, like synchronicities. This could be a dream that you've had, but this is some sort of truth or something that just becomes very evident to you that comes in from, not the normal channel. This is something that comes in through a little bit more of a mysterious channel. So again, pay attention to those dreams, the synchronicities that you're having. It's always my advice, is that the universe is full of information if you're really paying attention. So that's at the root of what's going on for you. And it could be that you've manifested something here in the way of this Ace of Pentacles, or these things that are coming in rapidly for you. So pay attention to that. In your recent past is that you've just had something that you've had to think your way out of. And perhaps that's why this new financial opportunity is coming to you. If thinking your way out of it meant you were trying to manifest a change so that you're not in that situation again. So, the Eight of Swords there is about, feeling a little stuck, but it can just be like feeling stuck in your mind, or even in communicating, like you feel like you're just saying the same thing over and over and over until bam, like the dam breaks, and either that information gets through, or the communication kind of works. So also I will say we have 2 8s, which, if you're dealing with money, is a perfect little number to come up, number 88. We'll see if we get more 8s on the table for you also. What's on your mind this week is the 5 of Swords. So, tarot makes me laugh because Now, I'm only on the second reading for this week, but here we've got this card I've already seen and this one as well. This Five of Swords on your mind. It looks like maybe there were some words exchanged, and I will say that if you know a an Aries, that this they had this card in their advice position. So it always amazes me when these cards kind of come out a lot in the same readings. That maybe the Aries was exchanging some information, and I certainly could have been a Taurus. So it looks like if this is you, there were some words exchanged, and you might be on the giving end or the receiving end of those words. Maybe it wasn't the nicest thing, but like I told the other reading, I was just sometimes things just need to be said. It's the truth. The truth hurts, kind of thing. Sometimes you just got to say it. Sometimes you got to hear it. So, whichever side of that coin you may be on, just take a breath, take in the information if it's being said to you. Be kind, be as kind as you can if it's the information you're doling out. But it looks like that's on your mind, is maybe some exchange you had with someone this week, or something like that, where it happens, and you're kind of thinking about it, kind of ruminating on, did that really person really say that thing, or the thing that came out of your own mouth also. What is just ahead of you this week is the Wheel of Fortune. So I will tell you, I love to see the Wheel of Fortune with the Ace of Pentacles, because that to me is like almost a double luck thing. So, if you're a lottery player, it might be a good week to pick up that lottery card, and maybe give that a shot this week. So, just remember that you might be a little luckier than usual this week. So enter that contest if you're typically reluctant to do so. Just go ahead and fill it out, maybe enter that contest, right? What is in your advice position here is the Judgment card. So, and the advice is go ahead and make a judgment. I call judgments are, we're not really supposed to judge, right? But sometimes you have to make a judgment. And usually it's on maybe a situation, right? And you may just need to take past information that's coming in. You may make a judgment on something based on this tarot reading. The fact that I said you might have a lucky week, that may be the judgment call that you make to go purchase a lottery ticket, right? So there's something, but your advice is to go ahead and make those judgments about things that are happening around you this week. That it's okay sometimes to form that opinion, or have your opinion change. The Taurus collective can be a little bit stubborn. And sometimes you think you know a thing, but some information that comes in, it might just have you change your mind. So kind of be open to having your mind changed a little bit this week. When it comes to judgment, I feel like it's a new awareness. It's like some new truth comes to mind that makes you evaluate something in a different way and literally make a judgment. All right, what is beyond your control this week is the Strength card. So now we have 3 8s on the table. So definitely you're going to have to call on your inner strength this week. And again, 888, it's just, to me, that's 3 lucky signs for you. Very lucky reading for you, Taurus. Okay, secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, now we've got 2 aces also. I just feel like this is very lucky. Ace of Swords is definitely about an aha moment, where you have, some sort of breakthrough on something. And like I was talking about here, this breakthrough could come in the form, and like I said, of where you were feeling stuck, that either you had this breakthrough and all of a sudden the idea that you've been trying to come up with comes to you, or that this was some sort of communication where you were trying to communicate something to someone and there was a breakthrough. So again, maybe words were exchanged that just needed to be said. But it's and this, because the position of this card, this is either your secret desire to have this breakthrough, or you're trying to avoid having this breakthrough. I would say the rest of your cards lead me to believe that it is your secret desire, that you want something to change, you want something to break through in the way of communication or words. So very nice there. In your outcome position, Page of Wands. So it leads you, all of this whole week leads you on a new path into a new passion. There's going to be something that it leads to. Some sort of luck is going to come your way that I feel like is just going to, give you the opportunity and ability to do something new. And it could be something, again, as little as maybe you win a little money on the lottery thing, and it's enough money to purchase a thing that you've been wanting to do, like a hobby, something related to a hobby, or something that you've wanted to do. Maybe it gives you the money to buy the fabric for a quilt that you've been wanting to make, right? So if there's anybody else out there also still sewing, so, but that's, you know what I mean? So it's almost like the luck brings you to a place of new passion, which is very nice. I love that. What is hidden for you this week, Taurus, is the Nine of Wands. So no looking back on the past this week for you. Um, you're just looking towards the future, and you're very lucky. You're very, very lucky this week. So that's what all the, there's a lot of different cards here that just say that. You know, the 3 8s, of course, look that up in numerology. You know, the 3 8s, we've got 2 aces, we got this Wheel of Fortune. I love it. I think you're going to have a very lucky week this week, Taurus. All right, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Taurus this week in their lucky, lucky week. Reflect on your truth, and that coincides. And I find that this card a lot of times coincides with the advice card. You know, excuse me, this Judgment. Um, like I said, this is truth coming to light, and it's kind of, you know, you get this new information and you do make a judgment. And I don't think it's about a person. I think it's about a thing. It's about something you're involved with. There is really what's kind of coming in for me. So, all right, what does Taurus need to do in the way of self-care this week? Self-care for Taurus, November 9th through the 15th. All right, and the card that you get is the card called Beauty. And that card says, today you are a curator of beauty. You are blessed with moments that let you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that all is well in the world. And I think you're a curator of beauty and luck. I really do think so. So hopefully that luck brings you to some beauty that you can stop and smell the roses and just really, really appreciate things this week. So, Taurus, thanks so much for being here with me. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use for your week. Again, it looks like a lucky week for you. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. If you remember, let me know, how were you lucky this week? You know, did you win a contest? Did you win a little bit of lottery money? You know, did something come through for you in the way of luck with all of those 8s coming up for you? I'd be very curious to know. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and more importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this luck continues or if there's a completely new energy here for you. So thanks so much, Taurus. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.